Hey everyone, my name's John Hanlon from the YouTube channel Beyond the Brick. Thanks so much for watching this video and helping us celebrate 500,000 subscribers. Thanks so much for all your support. We're going to take a look at the analytics and behind the scenes of the channel as to say a thank you to all of you guys for your support for these years that Beyond the Brick has been around. We want to just give you a behind the scenes look at what normally is only visible to us here at Beyond the Brick. So I'm starting here at our Social Blade profile. This is a live counter as I'm recording this video of our subscriber count. So it's 504,613 right now, and thank you again for all the support, all of you guys who have clicked subscribe on the channel. So this is the behind the scenes of the channel. This is YouTube Studio Beta. If you have a YouTube channel, you will be familiar with this. Studio Beta is actually pretty new. It's been available for maybe about 6 months as the YouTube analytics view, and they're phasing out the old view, and they have a lot more features packed into YouTube Studio Beta. So I want to just start here, and we're going to go through these tabs right here and just talk about, just show you everything and just talk about all of the different analytics and statistics that we have visible to us. So this is the real-time activity counter. This number actually right now is quite low for us. Usually it's at least 100,000 more, if not 200,000 more. And that's the thing about these statistics and everything I'm going to show today is that it fluctuates all the time. We generally get a bump over the weekend. It's the middle of the week when I'm recording this, or it's Tuesday today when I'm recording this. So the weekend bump has since disappeared. This shows the real-time activity for the last 48 hours. And like I said, it's pretty low, but it just fluctuates constantly. If we have a video that's doing well, that's more popular, obviously that number will be significantly higher. So you can see here our top videos of the last 48 hours, what's being watched. We've got the Indiana Jones boulder scene with the #1 spot at 13,000 views in the last 48 hours. And then we always have our GBC videos are always toward the top of this counter. They're usually actually #1. Again, we're a little low right now, so just for whatever reason, the GBC videos are not as popular. Here are the I should say that we're looking at, I have this set to June, so it's June 1st through 30th, 2019. We hit the 500,000 subscribers toward the end of June, so I thought that was the best month to look at. Here are our top videos in terms of watch time. So watch time is something I'm going to be talking a lot about. So in general, if you run a YouTube channel, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, watch time is actually all that really matters. These views and this view count doesn't really matter in terms of revenue, in terms of how popular YouTube views your channel, how popular that the YouTube algorithm thinks your channel is. All that really matters is watch time. How many minutes are people spending on your videos? And the longer people watch a video, the more YouTube is going to recommend that video show up in the recommended panel for other people. More people will watch it the longer that people who are already watching spend in the video. So it's all about the watch time. So these are the videos, and that also determines revenue. The more watch time you have on the video, the more revenue you make from the video. So these are our top videos in terms of watch time in the month of June. So again, we've got a GBC. Let me see if I can make this a little larger. We've got a GBC at the #1 spot with 2.8 million minutes of watch time. So that means that we will have made the most money, regardless of how many views that video got. We will have made more money off that video than any other video from this past month. So watch time is what determines revenue. It's also what determines how much YouTube is going to recommend that video to others, which is extremely important because obviously we need YouTube to be recommending our videos to other people. About 90% of our views actually come from non-subscribers. So that means it's YouTube recommending those videos to people watching similar videos. So 90% of our views, 90% of our revenue, however you want to look at it, 90% of the popularity of the entire channel is coming from people who are not subscribed and have maybe never even heard of Beyond the Brick, but they're clicking on one of our videos, maybe they're clicking on more, but they're not subscribed to the channel. So we are almost entirely reliant on the YouTube algorithm and the good graces of the YouTube algorithm. So that the watch time is what determines, I can't talk enough about the watch time and how important that is in the success of the channel. So that gives you an idea of some of our most popular videos in June in terms of watch time, not necessarily in terms of views. I hope that makes sense, the difference between watch time and views. So if we scroll up here, there's a peek at our revenue. I'll talk about that a little later. In June, we gained 13,065 subscribers. That's actually low. We didn't have a We did not have a great June. It was lower than average again. Like I said, and I'll probably bring this up again. It's constantly fluctuating. So we have good months and bad months. Some months are really, really good. Other months are not so good. All right, so we're in the reach viewers category now, and this is right here, impressions. This is a new statistic that is now visible in YouTube Studio Beta. We didn't previously have access to this statistic. It's the number of people who actually see our videos, so basically see the thumbnail, but don't necessarily click. So in June, we had 51.7 million impressions, but obviously we only had 4.7 million views. So, only a fraction of the people who see our thumbnails, and, it counts as an impression, but they're not clicking on our video. And obviously we want as many of those people as possible to be clicking on the video. That's the goal. I already mentioned it, but the June was a little bit low for us. This number is usually at least a million more, I would say, on average. So again, it was just a little bit of a low month for us in June. No particular reason why. It's just that's how the YouTube algorithm works. 2.3 million viewers. This is another statistic that is new in Studio Beta. As you can see, not just the number of views, but the unique viewers. So these are individual people. So compared to the number of views, which are just the total number of views a video gets, versus these are unique number of people who watch the video. Here's information about traffic sources. So it just kind of gives some different things there. And this is kind of a little chart showing impressions and how they led to watch time. So again, obviously the impressions, you hope to get as many of those people clicking through. So right there, nearly 70% from YouTube recommending your content. So again, that statistic about a huge number, the majority of our viewers don't come because they're subscribed to Beyond the Brick, or maybe have even heard of Beyond the Brick. A lot of people are just general Lego fans, or maybe they're looking for something related to a movie or a TV show, and then we featured a mock related to that movie or TV show. Who knows where they could be coming in from? It's just about anywhere. External traffic sources, this is always pretty low for us. These do not amount to a whole lot in terms of views and watch time. It's interesting to look at these. I'm not sure what this website is. Apparently they must have embedded our video somewhere. Occasionally we'll get different blogs and websites that embed our video, but those account for a very, very small number of views. I mean, obviously every view is great, and if you run a blog or a website, we would love for you to embed our videos, but in comparison to the total number of views we get on the YouTube channel, what we pull in from these other external platforms is very, very small. Again, it's the most important thing for us is the YouTube algorithm and the views that it attracts. This is the videos that people are clicking onto our videos from. So people watching the Lego story, that's the animation. You've probably seen it, about the Lego history and about the early days of the Lego company. So that's great. This is a significant source of views, people clicking on our content from these other views, or from these other videos. So all of these videos accounted for a lot of people who found our content because they were watching that video first. And again, that's how the algorithm works. Our content shows up alongside related videos. Playlists, these are all our playlists. We have a playlist for Star Wars creations, World War II, different things like that. That's not super interesting. YouTube searches, so these are what people are searching for. Basically, yeah, Beyond the Brick is the top search, so people are just looking specifically for our videos. Interesting one in there is Jang Bricks. Obviously, they're finding our content that we made with Jang, our studio or room tour we did with him, city tour, and then the different interview we did with him. So that's a look at the Reach Viewers tab. Let's click over to Interest Viewers. So again, here is that extremely important number, the most important number, which is the watch time minutes. We did 18.5 million watch time minutes. Something we've noticed this year, our views are actually down so far in 2019 compared to this point in 2018. But the really interesting thing is that the watch time is actually up. So that's kind of crazy. I guess that means we are doing something right, I guess. I mean, I would love for both watch time and views to be up, but if I could only choose one, I would prefer for watch time to be up, because that's really what generates generates the perception of the algorithm. It as I already talked about, changes the perception of the algorithm. It also generates to more revenue. So our watch time for the year is actually up, and it was actually up 5% specifically in June compared to May of this year. Here's our average view duration. If you run your own YouTube channel, especially if it's related to Lego and is a significant size, more than 20,000 subscribers or so, let's say, I would love to hear what your average view duration is. One thing that's really interesting about what we do is we have access to this information, but nobody else can see all these analytics, so we have no idea how we compare to another similar size YouTube channel or a smaller YouTube channel or a larger YouTube channel. Maybe this average view duration is really good. Maybe this average view duration is really bad. So if you run a YouTube channel yourself that has a decent number of subscribers and you regularly produce content, I would love to hear what your average view duration. Maybe you could leave that in the comment just so we would know out of curiosity what how we stack up against other channels. In fact, if you want to leave some information about your channel for any of the analytics I'm talking about, that would be super interesting for us to know, and I think other people who are reading the comments as well. So there it is. It's apparently up 15% since May, or compared to May, which is actually really good. The average view duration obviously is hugely important to this watch time, which is, as we've talked about several times, very important to the channel. Top videos, watch time. I feel like we already saw this. Maybe it's just showing it again. And then some other information in here. Top videos by end screen. So when you watch to the end of a video, I'll probably have it in this video. We have a little end screen that says subscribe to Beyond the Brick with some cards in there, what are called cards. And those are basically the different videos trying to, we're basically saying, hey, you enjoyed this video, go click on these others as well. So here are the videos that are getting the most clicks. So we're not getting a tremendous amount of clicks on those end screens from people. I think it's just simply because most people don't watch all the way to the last second of the video. Once they've seen what they were here for, they probably click away to something else, either one of our videos or somebody else's video. So our number one video only has 2.7 thousand end screen clicks, which is very low. Obviously, when you're talking about millions of views a month, just a couple thousand clicks on the end screen is not a significant amount. But hey, you never know. Someone watching that video and clicking that end screen could turn into a subscriber who then watches many more videos in the future. So we are absolutely grateful for every single click, but it is interesting that they're not accounting for a significant amount of views that the channel is getting. Top playlists again, which I feel like we already looked at some of this information. Maybe they're just showing it additional information, just showing it on a separate tab. Top cards. So the cards are what's when you're watching a video and there's that little bar that pops up at the top. It's like a recommended thing. Like somebody will say something in the video like, hey, I made this previous video about this, and then you'll see that link pop up at the bottom. That is called a card. And so these are the videos that are getting the most card clicks. Again, very, very little, very few views from those card clicks coming to us, 469 on our top video. So it's accounting for very, very few views actually coming into the channel. But again, you never know. We're certainly thankful for all of those views. So that's a look at that tab. Let's come over to what's called Build an Audience and go through this. So unique viewers, again, we already saw the statistic. I think it's just giving a little more information. 2.3 million unique viewers. Average views per viewer here. This is interesting. So 2 views per viewer. So it just says that the average person is watching 2 videos, which I guess is great. It's better than 1 video. Again, I don't know how that compares to other channels, so I have no context for whether that is good or not. We're apparently down 1%, but that's pretty similar. Here's something really interesting over here. So when you subscribe to, let's see if I can make this any larger. You can ring the bell on our channel to be notified when we upload a new video. Most people know this, but what you may not know is that you're actually not getting notified if you don't have all notifications enabled for your account. So you need to not only click the bell icon on our channel to be notified when we upload, you need to go into your account settings and turn on all notifications so that you actually receive that notification. That's what this little message here is saying. Notifications can't reach subscribers who disabled notifications on the YouTube app or signed out. So make sure you're doing that. If you have rung the bell and maybe you didn't know why you weren't receiving notifications, that might be turned off in your YouTube settings. Go into the YouTube app and check out that setting. But these are interesting statistics here. So we have basically 56,000 people who have turned on all notifications for our channel and enabled YouTube notifications. As I just said, that's very important. So we have 56,000 people apparently who are receiving a notification for every upload we publish, which seems like a very large number. Based on the views we're seeing, only a fraction of those, maybe about 10%, are actually clicking through to watch the video, but that's great. 56,000 people are receiving a notification every time we upload a video. That's a huge number, and thanks so much to you guys who have done that. Top countries. So this is another really interesting statistic. So we receive about 60% of our views from, well, it's a little bit lower. We're showing a little bit lower than generally in the past. It's been about 60% of our views have been from outside the United States and 40% inside the US. So we're showing slightly higher US watch time for the month of June, but generally in the past, that's what it's been. So that's always an interesting statistic. Since we attend mostly LEGO events in the United States, then I think a lot of people would probably assume that our US audience is by far the majority, but that's not the case. I think just because LEGO is so big, such a universal thing, especially in Europe as well. We have 60% of our viewers are coming from outside the United States. So I think that's a pretty interesting statistic and something we definitely keep in mind when we are creating content, that, you know, it's not just people in the US watching, even if we are covering a US show. Ages here. Let's zoom in on this if we can. This is another interesting statistic. I think this is a little skewed because you aren't allowed to be on YouTube until you are 13 years old. So if you're under 13, you're technically not allowed to make a YouTube account, even though we know many kids under 13 years old are on YouTube or using their parents' account. So either they're lying about their age or they're using their parents' account. So I think these statistics for a channel like ours that produces content that I think a lot of kids are watching, I think these statistics are skewed. I think we have a lot of viewers under the age of 13, and maybe even more in this percentage of 13 to 17-year-olds, just because kids are either lying about their age or using their parents' account to access YouTube. But this is the statistics that YouTube is giving us. So let's zoom back out. Oh, and here in the, this is whether people are watching with subtitles on, and 98% of our viewers are watching with subtitles turned off. And then when they are watching with subtitles on, it's 1.7 of the total percent of viewers are English. So it's basically almost nobody watching with subtitles turned on, and when they are, it's always English. All right, so here's maybe what's the big attraction. So here is our revenue for the month of June. This is exactly how much money we made from YouTube: $6,974.18. And these are our number of monetized playbacks. So not every single view is monetized. In fact, if we go back to, let's compare that. Views, we had 4.7 million views, 2.5 million estimated monetized playbacks. So I think there are a number of factors that go into whether a view is monetized or not. Things like ad blocker. Make sure you turn off your ad blocker when you're watching our videos, or else we won't get paid. Things like that. So we're only getting 2.5 million actual monetized views. But yeah, there's the total number we've made for June. We have pulled in more than that in a month, considerably more than that, and we have pulled in less than that. We generally are growing year over year, but when you look at it month by month, again, it just fluctuates a lot. Here's a look back at the last several months. So June was actually pretty good. Again, the views were considerably down. This is a perfect example of what I was saying. The views were actually down, where our views were not great in June, but the money because of watch time was not bad at all. So nearly $7,000, which is the highest we've done since February. So really not doing too bad at all in terms of YouTube revenue. While we're on the topic here of our revenue performance month by month, it's worth mentioning that January performs significantly lower than December. So there's a really interesting thing that happens here that you may not know unless you run a significant sized YouTube channel. So basically, advertisers spend a huge amount of money in December and November advertising, especially toys, to kids and parents for Christmas, for the holidays. And then in January, there's a huge drop in money that YouTube channels are making because advertisers have stopped spending. They spend whatever, a huge percentage of their annual advertising budget in November and January leading up to Christmas, trying to get parents and kids to purchase those gift items. And then in January, the money drops off. And this has happened every year that we've been had our YouTube channel monetized. So it's a really interesting situation there. If I showed you our January versus December numbers, which I won't take the time to pull up right now, there would be a huge difference. In fact, it's about half usually from December to January. And these are our top earning videos. So let's see. Let's go into this a little more. What information can we see here? So this is our Brick Fair Virginia 2018 GBC was the top money maker for us in the month of June. And then our number 2 video in terms of revenue is this great ball contraption from 2016, which is actually the most popular video on our channel with 28 million views. And that has always been a very popular video for us. And then you can see some of our other videos on here. The Indiana Jones boulder scene, which you saw at the beginning of the video as our most popular video in the last 48 hours. That's been extremely popular as well. And a couple of these videos that we did top 10, Lego D-Day scenes, top 10 spaceships, top 10 Star Wars creations. So those have been very successful videos for us. And then, of course, this amazing giant Lego Star Destroyer with full interior. If you haven't seen that video, you got to go over and watch that because that is one of the coolest things we have ever covered on the channel. One really important thing to note about this revenue here, you see the top few videos, and the thing is that on our channel we have more than 2,000 videos. So if every video is making us $200+ a month, well, we would be billionaires. That would be great. But the fact is that most of the videos we have on the channel are only making us pennies or a couple dollars a month. So you're seeing here the top, the very best performing videos, and there's a really big margin between the top performing videos and the vast majority of videos on the channel that are making us almost nothing per month. So these are great and these numbers are fantastic, but it's worth keeping in mind that we have all of these other hundreds and hundreds of videos that are kind of sitting out there, and sometimes they will make us more money, other times they're making us just a few pennies a month. But that's a look at exactly which videos are kind of generating the most revenue. Let's look at revenue sources. So this is how much we make from YouTube Premium, which is the membership people who pay for pay YouTube a certain amount. I believe it's either $10 or $15, depending on whether it's an individual or a family plan. So we've made $336 in June from people who pay for YouTube Premium. I pay for YouTube Premium. I think it's absolutely worth it to skip the ads, and it's a great service. I'm really glad that YouTube offers that, and I'm more than willing to pay to skip the ads and still support creators. And that's the overall direct ad revenue, so that number is slightly lower than this revenue number because it does not include those the YouTube Premium number. This is exactly which ads are making us the most money. So these are just different types of ads that YouTube puts on our videos. We don't really have any control over those ads. It's just interesting information that they give us. We have all of the different ad types turned on, so it's just all of this stuff is just general information. There's not really anything we can do, as far as I know, to increase those numbers or decrease them, and I'm not even sure what you'd want to increase or decrease there. Super Chat, we've pulled in $350. We don't do a lot of live streams, so Super Chat is the ability to, or the function for people to donate during the live stream. We rarely do live streams, so we don't get a lot of Super Chat. I believe actually some of this was from me, my personal account, because YouTube, if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, you can actually, I just discovered this recently, you can actually donate to a channel, I believe it's $2. The YouTube basically gives you $2 of free money to donate to a channel. So when we were premiering a video a couple weeks ago, you can do super chats during premieres and live streams. I actually just went into the premiere chat for Beyond the Brick, and then on my personal account, and I just donated $2 because it was free money. I did not know that the YouTube gave that money. So next time we're doing a live stream or a premiere, just hop in, and if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, just drop in your $2. So that's where we generated that. I think $2 this was me, and then $1.50 was somebody else or a couple of the people who gave some money. And this is based on, so that we're making $4.92 per 1,000 viewers. So CPM is the per 1,000 viewers. It's just a general information. Again, I would be curious to hear from other YouTube channels on what your CPM is. I don't know if this is high. I don't know if this is low. I think this is slightly higher than maybe average, but I'm not entirely sure. So I would love to hear from other YouTube channels in the comments on what your CPM is, just out of curiosity. And we're apparently up 11%, which is always nice in the month of June. So that's our YouTube money. The thing to keep in mind here is that we have really big expenses here at Beyond the Brick. We're constantly traveling to Lego conventions. If you're a subscriber, if you're a fan, you know that. We also have, it's a business where we have a lot of unforeseen expenses that pop up as part of running the business. So this is a look at how much money we're making directly from YouTube. Now, I will say we have a couple other revenue sources as well. One of them is Facebook, which I'll talk about in just a second. Another one is our sponsors. So Brickmania is our current sponsor. We've also worked extensively with Bricklink and Eclipse Graphics in the past. Those guys are all very generous and sponsor our videos. So when you click on one of our videos, you'll see our little intro animation with the breaking bricks, falling apart bricks animation, and then a 5-second ad from whichever company we're working with at the moment, which in 2019, Brickmania is sponsoring all of our YouTube videos, and they were very generous to do so. So we generate a little revenue that way as well. But the primarily it is these this YouTube revenue all year long that makes up the chunk of our revenue. We also generate a little bit of revenue from sponsored videos. So usually Boone is the host of these, and you will see him reviewing various products. And of course, we always tell you that this is a sponsored video. Those videos are actually great because I think it provides the viewer with actual decent content. We work with Lego related companies who are making products related to Lego, and we showcase those products. It works out well for the advertiser, the sponsor, because we are showcasing their product to a worldwide audience of Lego fans. It works great for us because it allows us to just travel to more shows with that revenue. And then I think it works well for the viewers too, because they're getting to see a product that we wouldn't otherwise feature. So that generates a little bit of revenue for us. It's a pretty small amount, but it is growing. We've done a number of those over the past year. So I think those things are the primary revenue sources. I want to jump over to the Facebook page really quick. So we have, and there's one specific statistic that I want to touch on. So we have our Facebook page of Beyond the Brick, which has absolutely exploded in growth over the past year. So Facebook has a monetization system very similar setup to YouTube, where they're trying to pull in video creators and they're sharing the revenue from the ads with video creators. So it has turned into a decent amount of money for us over on our Facebook page, where we're publishing videos every day. Basically the same videos we're publishing on YouTube, just packaged a little bit differently. And we have about 185,000 followers over there on our Facebook page, 185,000, which is almost all of those have followed us in the past year. We just got into the monetization program on our Facebook page about a year ago. And one of the reason I have this page pulled up is because, so this is the live comparison between us and the Lego page. And Lego has, an insane amount of page likes, obviously, 13.3 million. I should say this is likes. So I said 185,000 followers because we have, for some reason, we have about 30,000 followers more than we have likes, and it's weird how Facebook does that, but basically a follower is worth more than a like because following means that you're actually following the page and you'll see posts from the page. Facebook's algorithm, of course, is crazy. I think most people know that, but the really interesting thing here is these numbers over here. So basically it doesn't matter how many page likes you have. The engagement is all that matters. This is measuring engagement. So this is the number of people, not the number of people, the number of times our content that we posted on Facebook has been liked, shared, or commented on. And you can see that we're actually doing better than the Lego Facebook page, which is I think a pretty impressive statistic and something we're quite proud of here at Beyond the Brick. We passed the Lego page a couple weeks ago, and they may pass us again. I think it goes up and down quite a bit. I've seen their engagement numbers at over 1 million. But just the fact that we've been ahead of them now for the last couple weeks, I think was quite impressive. And we put a tremendous amount of work into our Facebook page, just trying to share out mocks and as many videos and all kinds of Lego related content over on our Facebook page. And again, we've really grown that over the past year once we were accepted into the Facebook video monetization program. But I wanted to point that out because I thought that was very interesting. So 540,000 different likes, comments, or shares on the page in the past. This is measuring from this past week. So that's a look at how much money we're making here at Beyond the Brick and some other statistics as well. It's not all about money. But again, the thing to keep in mind is all of the expenses that we have. Basically, Unlike a lot of YouTube channels, we don't, we very rarely just turn on the camera and sit in front of the camera and make a video that makes us any money. We might make little like announcement videos and that type of thing. But generally, almost all of our revenue is from going out to conventions, sometimes all around the world on the other side of the globe or whatever the case may be, which is very, very expensive to do. And so that's where almost all of our money goes to. And we also have a huge amount that I think we paid like $25,000 in taxes in 2018 as well. So that there are a lot of different expenses there. And we also have both myself and Joshua who are full-time working on the channel. And we are up to now 5 different contributors. And those guys are great as well, but 2 of us just full-time on the channel. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of a behind the scenes of Beyond the Brick. Make sure you check out our other special videos that we made to celebrate passing 500,000 subscribers. We did a studio tour. It's the first time ever that we showed off our studio here at Beyond the Brick. I'll put a card or an end screen element to that video. Make sure you click on that so you can bump those statistics up. So a studio tour and then some other videos as well that we've done to celebrate 500,000 subscribers. But thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks again for your support.